Amber and Diamond class, I wanted to make this short video to help you if you get stuck on your homework. So you can listen to this at home and watch it if you get stuck, and to help you do a really good job. Now, our homework each week is going to look the same. So there's two parts. The first part is practicing and not forgetting how to write a squad paragraph. This should take you about 10 minutes. And then the second part is a writing prompt, where we're going to be practicing this thing here about not forgetting how to use a range of sentence types: simple, compound, complex, and all our different punctuation. So I'm going to explain to you how you can do your homework. The first thing you look for is you look at the essay question. So, how is Curly's wife first presented in Of Mice and Men? The fact these words are red tell you these are going to be words that you're going to want to include in your statement. Now, I don't want you to spend a long time looking in the books, so I've provided a quotation for you to use. Okay, and then we know our longest part is the bit where we're going to want to do our analysis. This shows, this suggests, this makes me think, this implies. And our development, which is where we zoom in. Now, if you need help with your homework, you can use the placemat. Now, you're going to have copies of these, and also you can obviously look at this video. So if we look at this good example of a squad paragraph. So the essay question was up here, and straight away we know this is a good statement because it uses a key word, feelings, from the essay question. Then we've got a colon, introduce our quotation. We've copied the quote carefully, and it's inside speech marks. And that's the first parts of our squad paragraph done: statement, quotation. Now we need to analyse, so we can use any of these phrases. This shows, this implies, this suggests, this demonstrates. And we're just thinking a little bit more deeply about what does this quotation reveal? What does it hint at? What does it suggest? Then we need to zoom in on a particular word. So I've chosen to zoom in on I hardly know, this short phrase, and also the word longing. The phrase I hardly know emphasises that it's an instant reaction, almost like love at first sight. Also, the fact she says she goes mad with longing implies that Grace doesn't believe she'll ever actually get to be with John, that it will be unrequited love. In your development, purple part, you can also zoom out. You can, instead of going into a quote or a word, you can link out to the whole text. And so you might choose to say, well, actually, this links to something we learn about later on, or this will give us a clue about something that happens later on, or you can mention a theme. So this is an introduction to one of the main themes of the novel, which is relationships and first love. So if I was you, I would have this open in front of me when I am doing my homework, the first part of my homework, because a really good B or above paragraph will look like this. Okay? That's what you're aiming for. And you're only doing one paragraph, and I've given you the quotation for it, so it should take about 10 minutes. Okay? Now you need to do part 2 of your homework, which is not forgetting how to use a range of sentence types of punctuation. Now, each time I've given you a writing prompt. I've given you a topic you could write about, and they're all money themed to link with the play that we're reading, Millions. However, you can always, every week, you can always just write to me about anything at all. You can write to me about what you've been doing at the weekend, or about your favourite football team, anything at all, as long as you are proving to me that you're remembering to use our interesting sentence types and punctuation, okay? And what I have to help you with this, again, is your placemat, which we've used lots of times, but I will quickly talk you through. So remember, we want to not just have simple sentences, okay, which end in full stops, because they get a little bit boring, or we want to use a range of different sentence enders, remembering this is your strongest end. But we also want to use compound and complex sentences. And when we're using compound sentences, we are going to use 2 sentences that could be on their own, they could be simple, but actually we're joining them using one of these connectives here, or using a semicolon. Remember, a semicolon is the one that's strong enough to hold two sentences together, not a comma. Comma's too weak. If we're going to write really interesting sentences, we also want to have some complex sentences. And this is where we want to use the blue boxes on our sheet. So using these sorts of connectives and using these punctuation, okay? And another thing to help you would be looking at this, okay? So here we've just got a simple sentence ending in full stop. This one's much better because we've got a complex sentence here, walking up the street. Now, always having a comma after the dependent clause. He tripped. And here, lots of different types of complex sentences. Now, please remember, if you start your complex sentence with an dependent clause, a bit that doesn't make sense on its own, you've got to use a comma, okay? So, using this document and this document, you are just writing me a short paragraph, 5 to 6 sentences, but you are deliberately trying to use all the different types of punctuation, okay? Brackets that add in extra information, commas in a complex sentence, exclamation marks to really emphasize something, okay? And that is all that we're looking for. And as you can see from the rest of the homework, I'll just get it back up. That's week 1 finished. Week 2, it's a different question. This time it's going to be a quad paragraph based on 1. It is exactly the same. Different writing prompt, exactly the same. So if you were ever stuck, this is what you need to be looking at. You're looking at this video or looking at the copies of these documents that you have at home. Good job, guys.